Welcome to the WealthGenius podcast, brought to you by the Expand Wealth Real Estate Fund. Expand your wealth by investing in apartment buildings. Go to expandwealthfund.com to book your info session. The WealthGenius podcast, strategies for multifamily real estate investing, mindset, community, success. The WealthGenius podcast with your host, the godfather of real estate, Alfonso Cuadra, who has expansive experience in business and massive success as a real estate investor. The WealthGenius podcast. Let's dive into today's episode.
Let's do it. Vish in the house officially. First time on the podcast. You've been here since the very beginning, since even the first Expand.
Yes.
You were there, and so we definitely appreciate you. And you come with the furniture, like I like to say. You know, you've been here for a very long time, and you're kind of one of those members within WealthGenius where, you know, when it's someone's first day, you know, your first day at school, and you don't know anybody, and then, you know, there's that friendly kid that comes by, hey, come play with me or whatever. So you're kind of that person for a lot of people, and you show a lot of great leadership. And so, you know, what drives you to be that way? You know, like to be such a welcoming, leader within the community. Is it just WealthGenius, or is this how you are, like, everywhere?
You know, first of all, let me tell you this, that my life has changed since I joined WealthGenius.
I appreciate that.
I was, just an investor investing in residential. And when I, joined WealthGenius, not only it exposed me to the multifamily side of the things, but more than that, it drew me to the inspiration that you are. And that helped me to say, you know what, if Alfonso can do it, so can we. And that is a spirit that I always come to any meetup or any Expand that I've been. I'm so happy that this will be my 5th Expand.
Wow.
And every time it gets better. And I feel that it's our responsibility as, old members, if I can say so, to make sure that the new members get everything that will make them successful. So I think that's part of my personality. Yeah. But the community in itself, let me tell you, I'm not part of any other community. And I don't think I need to be, because this community is one of the best communities out there for investors, and the environment, the friendliness that you talked about is so kind of available for everyone. And I make sure that we kind of provide that supportive environment to the new members.
And that's what a community is, right? A community is only as good as its civil servants, right? The people that support that community, a city, a family, you're only as good as the people that are a part of it. So, you now have created technology to help and support, because that goes along. It's like you saw, okay, what's missing? What are investors missing? And so you've created technology and a platform to support that mission, to enhance the experience of a real estate investor. Tell me about why you started Real Vista, and where did this idea come about, and was it something that you were missing? Was it something that you were looking for?
Exactly. Now, first of all, let me echo the mission that you have, or we have, and we all have, is that to get financial freedom, right? And you are literally, I've told you many, many times, that you are changing the lives of people. It is not about buying a multifamily. That's just a product we end up buying. But what it is doing for you and your family is that helping you achieve that financial freedom. And by doing that, you're changing people's life. And when I thought of Realista, I actually struggled myself, because there's a lot of education out there. WealthGenius provides tremendous amount of education to anyone. But where we struggle is that, okay, now what should we do with that education, the execution piece, right? Okay, let's buy an off-market listing or an off-market property, right? Where should I get that, right? It's in one of those platforms. So I said, why not put together all that into one platform where investors are enabled? Because I've been in technology for 20 years and I saw the gaps in real estate, and I saw, you know what, how can I leverage my 2 decades of experience in making something that will help investors? And I was the customer number 0 for that. So I actually did that on me. Then I reached out to other investors. Again, WealthGenius was very supportive of the idea. And then that's how Realista was born.
And so what does it like do? Like so I know there's AI, like an AI component to it. And kind of what does it do?
Think of it as a one-stop shop for investors where they can come and find very easily off-market, on-market listings of their choice. What we are doing is we are in the back end, we are getting listings from MLS, from Facebook, from Kijiji. So we have written algorithms that will get those listings. So you don't have to hop from one platform to another. You can use our platform.
So it scrapes all of the platforms and puts it in one place.
And then you can run AI on that. So you can just tell, we are actually launching the voice feature too, where you can actually talk to the platform and say, hey, can you find me an off-market multifamily 2-unit property in London? And if it's there, it will actually provide you with that. And we have gone far where we have put all those calculators also in the system. So you don't have to go outside. You can literally use the same platform to run the numbers. And then a step ahead, now you are at a point when you said, okay, you know what? I want to pursue this opportunity, but I live in Toronto. The property is in London. I don't know the realtor, in London. So it also serves as your digital playbook where you can connect with the right realtor who is multifamily experienced, who is investor experienced, and connect you with them right from the system. So finding properties, evaluating properties, and connecting with those specialists that will help you to close the sale.
So does it work for like houses?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like all real estate?
All real estate, yes.
And you said you were in the U.S.?
Yes, so I'm happy to share that for the first time at WealthGenius and with Alfonso that we will be expanding the platform to the U.S. in 2025.
Yeah, so that's a big data grab, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's like you got 10 times more inventory, 10 times more off-market deals, 10 times more, not just inventory, but realtors and all of that.
Everything.
Yeah.
So, Alfonso, to make it more strategic, we will be focusing on 3 to 4 states to begin with.
Yeah.
We have zeroed on Ohio because we see a lot of investors in Canada are big on Cleveland, Cincinnati. Then we're going to be going after Texas and then for Florida. So these are the 3 states.
Those are great markets.
Yes. Yeah. So we've done our due diligence. And instead of reaching out to all the 50 states, rather focus on 3, make sure that our investors and members are successful, and then we expand to the other states too.
Yeah, I love it. And a big part of how you're getting people on the platform is all your funny, unique social media videos, which I find very entertaining. And we started the podcast talking about kind of how you become this welcoming, warm person in WealthGenius, and you did this really funny video where it's like it's someone's first experience, a member's first experience, and things like that for Expand. And so, where does that creative, what do you do? Like you're a technical engineer, like you're an engineer, but you get this creative thing. Like, where does that come from?
Because I'm a marketing guy too. So right now my role is I'm a global marketing director for Microsoft.
Okay.
And I'm very creative. I really want to bring, the human elements in a video. And, the video that you're talking about was more about and that's always, stayed with me, that what would a first time attendee at Expand think?
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, how can I help? And then, I put together that why don't I play the role of, the 3 characters? Because, again, I'm excited to having a booth again at Expand. So I wanted to talk from a first-time attendee point of view, from a pro, who's attended for the 5th time, and then also as an exhibitor. Because I think it is important for everyone to be aware that this is not just 3 days to spend these are the 3 memorable day of your lives that you will connect, you will learn, and you will do a lot of business with the folks that you will meet these 3 days.
Yeah, no, I love it. And then you got your kids involved. So now it's a family business. How, I would say, first of all, how did you get young kids so involved to the point that they're on stage, and doing this skit, these young detectives, and is that something that they were naturally born to do, or did you coach them, or because a lot of young people would be very shy, to get on stage in front of 500 people or whatever, or do these kind of videos?
Couple of things, as I said, WealthGenius has really changed my life, and this one aspect is also a key part of that. So Alfonso, when I joined WealthGenius, you may remember you would ask us to go do walkthroughs. As somebody who's full-time employee, our only days to do walkthroughs is a weekend.
Yeah.
And I will be out every weekend, and then my kids will miss me on the weekends because weekdays they go to school and I'm at work, and so weekdays will be the only days that we were supposed to be together. But me out doing walkthroughs will, not have them stay with me. So I found a way that why not I bring them to the walkthroughs. And so they started to kind of learn about, the science of buying and selling properties, right? The science of real estate. They started to love it. Then if you remember, we started to bring them to these meetups and also expand.
Yeah.
And that's how they got, exposure. And I must say that the changing point was the presentation from your daughter, Thalia, where you talked about how she started at a very young age. And I think that stayed with my children. Both of them, Shiraz and Sumaira, said, if Thalia can do it, we would like to do it too. Can you support us on that?
Nice. So it was really their idea.
It was their idea. And they said, Dad, how can we work with you on this? So we thought about, doing some skits, and that's where the idea of real estate detectives came. And let me tell you this, that manifestation is such a strong and powerful thing. I actually manifested that they will be on Expand stage. I actually brought this idea to you.
Wow.
And when it was a time, I actually reached out to you. And again, I have to say thank you, because you were so supportive of the idea, and it inspired my children so much that they said, Dad, we have to give the best shot. If Alfonso has given us the opportunity, we will make the best of it. And that's exactly what they did. They practiced, we put together an idea together. They were on the stage for the first time at Expand.
How much practice has to go into that kind of skit?
I would say a few days. It was not
really?
that. It was not
because
that.
It seemed that they were polished.
They have been doing these videos with me, with real estate detectives.
Yeah.
So we didn't. But again, you know what? They have to be mindful that it's a big opportunity and it's not taken for granted. They have to prepare, plan, and practice. So these 2-3 things
That's
I've told them. Yes.
That's good. So what are the kind of conversations that you're having with your kids? And did you have these conversations with your parents?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm an immigrant,
Yeah.
and I, as belonging to an Indian family, our family was very big on education, and their sole, sometimes mission is that get education and do your job. So That's it, right? And I'm an engineer. I'm a computer engineer, and my parents said your dream should be to get a job at a big company. And when I got a job at Microsoft, my parents said, oh, see, your dream got achieved. But after a couple of years, I said, I don't think my dream was right, because I still feel some things are unfulfilled. And that's when you start to think about that, oh, your dream was not big enough. And that's why, being at WealthGenius for so long, you always say, start with, that, okay, how much money is, big enough for you? Start with 1 million, and then you take us to 1 billion, and then 1 million, seems very small.
Yeah.
So another thing that I learned at WealthGenius was to think bigger, right? And then when I bought my first property, my mother said to me that you only want one property to live in. Why would you need another properties for what purpose? So, I just sometimes feel that how ignorant were they from a investment point of view or entrepreneurship point of view. But I think, I don't come with that mindset. I've like expanded my mindset again. You also expand your mindset. So now I'm having those conversations with my children that I did not had with my parents.
And so what's your style of teaching your young people about finances and financial literacy, real estate? What's your style? Like how do you teach them?
My biggest thing is, first of all, lead by example.
Do the thing that you're saying you want them to do.
Exactly, yeah. Right? I always, even now I've told them that, listen, you have to find your passion. And that passion could be anything. Passion could be dancing, singing, acting, real estate, could be anything. So go find that and then learn about that and then go do it, right? Because education system is so flawed, it only tells you one side of the story. But the real side of the story is what we can do, like what power we have within ourselves and what we can achieve by connecting with others to do the larger good. So I think that's my nature, and that's the way I'm teaching my children on to do what they think is good for them.
Vish, you're an inspiration, my friend. Realista?
Yes,
yeah.
Realista.
What's the name?
I wanted to have a peppy name and also very close to real estate. So after finding a lot of different options, I said Realista is actually a Greek star. Like if you go, it's a Greek word. But again, it's just the name I love because it embodies real estate.
Yeah. So when I heard the name, I thought real estate and like a vista,
Okay.
like the way when I hear it, I hear like a vision or a landscape or something that like a picture that I'm looking at, So that's what I get out of it. So some of the information will be in the show notes. How can they engage with it? How can they work with it? What do you want them to do?
So first of all, I will be at Expand, having a booth. But, anyone who's watching this podcast can just go to the website, www.realista, it is REALESTA.ai, and can just join free of cost. We're not charging anyone, nor the buyers, not the sellers, not investors. Again, the goal is to go out, use the technology, and empower yourself with whatever is out there, be it listings, be it the calculators, or be it the connections. So again, the goal is to make you successful.
Love it. Last thing, I want to know what inspires you. What's a mantra that you live by? A quote. What is something that you live by?
I think I've always told you that inspiration comes from people like yourself, people who are real. Right? Like it's such an inspiring story that what you have done, where you have come from and where you're going and how you're helping. And I think, again, my father was he was not an entrepreneur, but he was a social worker and he helped needy people. So again, it's not about just running a business or, doing a job. It is also about how you can empower people. Like God has given you the strength, the capabilities, and make the best of it, not just for yourself, for others too. So right now I'm on a path to empower investors. I want through Realista 1 million people to buy their, either their first home or their first investment property and be successful, because this is so important in today's day and life.
Empowering people. I'm all about that, my friend.
You are.
Thank you for coming by. That's the show. We got Vish in the house, Realista. Alfonso loves you. We'll see you all at the top. We made that announcement. Someone must have caught it. Someone must have been listening. Where's the next Expand? 1, 2, 3, yeah!
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Genius podcast, presented in part by Expand Investor Conference, this May 16th to 18th in Edmonton, Alberta. Get your tickets now at wealthgenius.ai/expand, and we'll see you at the top.